Hi, welcome. This is Dr. John DeMartini. This is one of the most amazing and inspiring shows that you can listen into. If you want to be on the edge of your seats, if you want to open up your heart, if you want to expand your mind, and you want to meet incredible people, stay tuned because you're just about to experience a transformative radio show that will change your life. And you're listening to the Dr. Pat Show that's coming up right next.
The following audio is via a Skype call.
Welcome to the Dr. Pat Show. Talk radio to thrive by. Powerful, inspiring, and coming to you live, bringing you stories of people like you and me, busting through and living life full out. Get ready to dare to wonder what your life would be like if you knew you could not fail.
Hey, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Sorry for the late arrival today, but, just trying to push all the right buttons. But guess what? That's what today's show's all about. When we're talking about, and today Dr. Glenna Rice is joining us here today, 3 ways to change your reality with money, I will guarantee you that there will be a few buttons that may get pushed today. Hopefully, when you're pushing them buttons, you're pushing them to have like a green light that says full steam ahead. Because there's nothing greater than the conversation about money that could be the showstopper in your life. Whether it's a conversation that you're having with yourself, or in my case, if you're having that conversation with Bank of America chargeback systems, that would be one of those things that could happen to you where all of a sudden you're thinking, my whole life is coming apart. Is it really? No. Today, we're going to take a really deep look into what the money is about and how do we change our reality about money. What if we went back in time, thousands of years ago, and we looked at some of the greatest people that walked the earth, and we have a point of view about those people, that they were poor, that they were in poverty, that they couldn't take care of themselves, yet they're some of the greatest teachers that we call upon today. Whether you're thinking about teachers that you believe that we quote on a regular basis, whether that's Buddha, whether it's somebody that you've looked at in your past that you believe has all the answers about money, where is the one place we are not looking? To take the words of a famous person who has become so famous in the reality of television, to take one of those people and bring her to the forefront, the one and only Dolores from Westworld. The journey is within. Dr. Glenna Rice joining us here today. We're going to have so much fun with this, Glenna. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Dr. Pat. Welcome. Thank you for having me on. I have not watched Westworld. Oh, my gosh. So, I just bought it on Amazon, the first series, because it's getting so much hype right now. So I'm going to be watching it.
Yeah, boy, I'm telling you. I don't think many people, I think we're all fascinated by Westworld. And believe me, the show is all about money. And we're fascinated by Westworld, and we're fascinated by these characters. But there's this fabulous storyline from it that has to do with, you've been looking for this, that, and the other thing outside of you. But here you've got these characters talking to a robot who has developed consciousness. And we're having the same conversation today. In our own ways, Glenna, we run the risk of becoming robotic in the world we live in and have to be reminded sometimes that there's something inside of us that is really calling the shots, but we don't know how to tap into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it. There's just a lot more possibilities, and we are walking around robotic, zombie-like. So many people are kind of the living dead in this reality that aren't ever accessing who they be, what they be. I mean, it's really about being you. Mm-hmm. I know a wonderful man who wrote a book, Being You, Changing the World, Dr. Dane here, who's been on your show before. Yeah. And that's to access who you be, what you love to do, what's joyful for you, to create more joy for you and the entire planet. And it's funny because money is, they say money brings you happiness. Well, no, it does not bring you happiness. Happiness is a choice you make. People can be happy with or without money. Money doesn't really change who you be. It doesn't change who you are, a kind of essence of you. But what money does do is it creates more ease in your life.
Mm-hmm.
It creates a lot more ease for your body. And people have lots of struggles with money. We love struggle in this reality. I mean, we love poverty. We love pain. We love talking about our pain. We love talking about the money we don't have, the money we'd like to have, instead of choosing something greater. And it's a lot of those points of views that we have with money that stop it from showing up in our lives. Because your point of view creates your reality, and I talked about this on a lot of our shows. And your point of view about money create your reality with money. And most people are asking for something different with money, more money usually. But these points of views are so loud; they're actually what's creating the lack more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen, over the years, so many people changing their points of views about money, me included, and started receiving more. Now, it didn't necessarily make them happier. Choosing happiness usually is what brings you more money. You get happy first, and the money follows. The joy follows when you you choose to have more happiness in your life or be happier. And that's different for everybody. It's even a weird topic to even discuss because most people don't even know what you're talking about when you say choose happiness because they've had so little.
Yeah. It's funny that, this was on my mind, this Westworld show. Because, I watched last season, really looking forward to this season. I mean, of course, the acting is brilliant. But the theme around consciousness is what really grabbed my attention. Consciousness in the world and, consciousness and power being blended together in a conversation. Of course, we're calling it, television, but there is this harmony that we can create in our lives. And, money is part of that. We live in a society where we have an exchange process where I do this and you give me this amount of money, or this amount of money will get me to this place, or whatever that sounds like, looks like. But yet at the same time, it's as if money or the search for money has some power over us. Do you know what I mean? It's almost like we are robotic in a sense. We are the West world of our own money consciousness.
Yes, it has a lot of power over us. We think it's elusive. We think it's hard to create. We think it's terrible. It's like one of the questions I love to ask is, what does money mean to you? And the energies that come up around that, the awarenesses people have about what money means to them. They can't have their life without money. That's not true. But you can have a different and possibly a greater life and an easier life with money available. It's an exchange system, yes. It's an energy. It's actually an energy that allows you to create, which is something people miss a lot about money. And when you're willing to create your life and create from a joy or happiness, or create a business, or ask for something that you'd really like to have, when you're asking from this place of wanting to expand your life, money, the energy of money and what money is, will show up to support you. So how often do we allow money to support us in our creation? Or do we spend most of the time complaining about we can't do it, we don't have enough, there's no way we can do that because we don't have enough money yet? We more use money as a way to stop ourselves instead of a way to create more.
Yeah. And isn't that what we were talking about when I said that money can become the showstopper in your life? Do you know what I mean? And I'm not talking about like not having any. That's not what I mean. But isn't it also like you teach also in Access Consciousness, you teach about the consciousness of money, so to speak, or how we carry that within?
Yeah, well, we talk about, consciousness is the awareness of everything with no judgment. And it includes,
that's right.
And it includes everything. Consciousness includes everything without judgment, including the things you judge. Right? So it includes money, whatever your point of view is. And money has a consciousness. It has a greatness about it, and it can be used in horrible ways, which is usually what we tend to focus on. we tend to use, I mean, it's kind of, years ago I was in a workshop and Gary Douglas, founder of Access, was teaching, and he asked the class, would you allow money to love and care for you and adore you and support you, that energy of it? And I just remember my mouth dropping open, and I've never considered that money had that energy, that it could be a supportive, caring energy in my life. That class changed so much for me that day. I started asking a lot of questions about what would it take for me to have money support and nurture and care for me in my life, and the things I want to create. And a lot of that weird kind of ugly energies that we have around money, and there's so many of them, started to just disappear. And money started to be easier for me to have. It showed up differently. And I have a few tools we'll talk about that can start to change it, but most people aren't willing to have money. They're willing to have money that they can use to spend for the things that's absolutely required. But actually have money as part of their life or their living or their reality is something very few people actually do. I mean, we have got some really rich people that have an energy of having money. But most people are more, you'll get the money and you get rid of it. You might have a savings account for retirement or something like that, but not enough, not to have money around you, that you like it, that you enjoy it, that it makes you happy and joyful just to see it around you. And that energy, if you're able to start changing it so you're willing to just have the energy of money as part of your creation, will start to change so many things. And more. And what it does is when you're willing to have it, money starts to see it becomes an energy where it wants to contribute more, and you'll start to get more of it because it notices that you're someone that is willing to have it as part of your life.
Yeah, I mean, today, the conversation that you and I are bringing to the forefront is really about the freedom. And this is me speaking. So if I'm jumping in here and off track, you'll let me know. Dr. Glenna Rice is joining me here today. And again, she has picked a fabulous, fabulous topic, 3 ways to change your reality with money. I've interviewed some people. I've talked to some people. I've watched some people that have money, and they were asked the question, not exactly like this, Glenna, but similar. What is it that money has given you that you didn't have before? And, the answer across the board, said in different ways, was simply something like the ability to help other people. That was their answer. These people that have a lot of money, I'm not saying they're all like that, but I'm saying when they're asked the question, they're saying, I now have these resources that I could pay forward. And that was the theme. It's an energy about money, isn't it? It's an energy that gets created that will either help us manifest more or less.
Yes. And we use it just for that, for creating more or creating less.
Yeah.
And it's not really the money that's doing that. It's how you be what you're asking for and what you're choosing, and then the money will show up to support the things that you're choosing to be. So if you want to do philanthropy or pay forward, and that's something you're choosing as a creation of your life, money will show up to contribute to that choice. It's not the money that's doing it; it's your choice that creates it. The money is there to support your choices that require money. There's many choices we have that require no money. I mean, most of the choices around money have to do with our bodies, because without a body, you don't have any use for money. But with a body, money is required for our food and our housing and our clothes and our joy and our fun, our vacations, the gifts to other people. Money can really be something that you can use to start creating change in this planet. If we had people that are choosing consciousness and awareness and greater realities had the kind of money that some of the, our trillionaires have, what could we do with the plastic in the ocean? What if we could buy Monsanto if we were that rich, coming from a place of consciousness and choosing? And I'm watching people that I've seen in Access for years that use these tools, starting to have realities that have money in them in a way that they can create changes that are greater than we could have ever imagined. So money is totally willing to contribute to the kindness, the consciousness, and the greatness we are choosing if we allow it to show up. We tend to have so much point of view. The points of views about that money is bad or wrong or evil or, all of those things that tend to permeate stop us from allowing it to contribute to us. in ways that are greater.
Yeah, and I want to ask you this question before we jump into the three ways to begin to change. You just facilitated a class called The Joy of Business, and I would imagine, I want to talk about that for a minute, but because I would imagine that as you're facilitating that class, there has to be a money conversation in it. And, but yet, when we say joy of business and we talk about the joy and we talk about business, there's also not just an energy of that, but there could be this energetic portal, almost like this transporter that can get us to where we want to go. What have you discovered in facilitating that fabulous class, Joy of Business? What is it that you have seen shown up for people that either ties them to a brilliant future or might hold them back?
Good question. Yeah, I have some Joy of Business classes coming up soon, so it's something new that I'm teaching, and I'm really excited about it. One of the things that I never saw is that I'm actually kind of good at business. I never looked at business from a place of something that was contributing to my life. I was just creating my businesses, which I call practices because I was a physical therapist. So the Joy of Business classes are really, joy and business is not some words, just like joy with money aren't words you tend to put together all the time. But when you're creating what's joyful for you, what you love, what you're great at, like your radio show, everything you've created with your business, Dr. Pat, that kind of a thing, then it starts to create your life, your reality, your money. Those things start to show up because when you're joyful and happy and creating from that place, we all know at that place where you can spend 10 hours doing something and forget to eat, a half a day, and you're just in this creation. Those are the things that create money, because they're the things that are joyful for you, and money follows joy. Money follows happiness. So much of the joy of business is to get people to see what their, how they create, how much they actually enjoy creating, what they create that they're great at, and how they can utilize that as something to create more for their life, which includes more money. Because business is there to create money. That's one of the realities of business. But it's also, but if it's something that's joyful for you, and we like to say, or Simone Millis is the founder of the Joy of Business class, like your business is your life.
Yeah.
Because business is about creating for you things that are joyful, that are going to create more money, and your life is about creating. We're very creative beings. Most of us are. Most of the people probably listening to your show are. I mean, I know that if I stop creating stuff that contributes to me, I'll start creating crap in my life. Because I just can't stop creating stuff. It's got to be something. And if it's not greatness, it's going to be something that's not working so well for me. So if you can start to tap into what's joyful for you and create from there, those are the kind of the businesses and the way, it doesn't have to be a business or an entrepreneur. That's not what I'm talking about. It's like everything you're doing in your life. How is all of that contributing to more for you?
Yeah. And that's what I love about this. Now, I want to just say, Dr. Glenna Rice is a regular on the show. And I'm waiting for the day that she takes all of these shows that we have done and creates an entire encyclopedia of information, better known as a series of books, because the nuggets that are in these shows are phenomenal. And you're bringing now these nuggets to the forefront of some of the classes you are going to be teaching in Seattle right around the corner. So let's talk about these classes, because I don't think you've ever, this is the first time I've seen this first class, 7 Easy Ways to Create Money, that one?
Yeah, that is the first. Yeah. So this is a little teaser for that class. That's what we're talking about today.
Yeah.
You only get three of the ways. You get, if you want the other 5, you got to come to the class. Yeah, it's going to be on the, what is the date of this class?
27th.
27th.
Yep, at 6 p.m.
Yeah.
Excuse me, April 27th, 6 p.m. Then the 28th, you're doing a 3-day body class. And then the 29th, there's energetic manual therapy intro. So you're like spending time here, right?
I am. I'm even coming up a day early just to see the beautiful Pacific Northwest. I grew up in Seattle, at Edmonds. Shout out to Edmonds, Washington.
Yeah, shout out.
And I love coming back there. The energy of that part of the planet just makes my body so happy. I can feel the energy as my plane is coming over the Pacific Northwest. My body starts to tingle and vibrate. So, I'm going to get to spend a couple days there and then teach the classes. And we're right on Lake Union at the Courtyard Marriott at Lake Union. And if you guys are you interested in the class or more, you can go to accessconsciousness.com/Dr. Glenna Rice to see the schedule of classes or register. You can also go to accessjoyofbusiness.com and find out more about the Joy of Business class that I have in Seattle, the 7 ways to create money. And I'm also doing these classes in LA next month also, so I'm excited. I'm adding this wonderful work to my business. And it's creating my business, all my businesses are creating more since I started adding this and looking at business differently, looking at the joy in it and having and receiving the joy that's actually there for me. And I never acknowledged it before. And part of it is just acknowledging that, you really like what you do a lot more than you are, than you know. Maybe it's a lot more fun, and just kind of tapping into that. And anyone can do that. They can just what have you done in business or with your business, or you could say your job, that has been joyful? Just one moment where you created something or something got, instituted, put something in place, interacted with people, created a team, whatever it was for you that just had that moment of, wow, look what I created. Mm-hmm. That's the joy of business. And just tapping into that and going, wow, okay, what else can I create now? If I can have that, how much more of that can I have? And what would that look like? Without coming to conclusions about what it is, what else could I create that has that energy and it would work for me? It's really about being a question, throwing the questions out. Like I said, you throw the question out, you ask for stuff, and everything that can support you will start showing up to support what you're asking for, including money.
Yeah. I have to take a moment and pause for a minute. And I have to give a shout out to Dr. Dane and Gary and Access Consciousness, all of you, because, my introduction to you guys was several years ago. And I knew at that moment there was some reason that my team was connecting. And I want to acknowledge what you all have done as a demonstration, Glenna, of taking these practices and growing the facilitator team, growing individuals, of taking everything that you've been saying to people, the thousands of radio shows that all of you have done, television appearances, books that have been written, and walk the talk. Because now when I look at accessconsciousness.com, this is a fundamentally different, expansive, and accelerated energy than it was 3, 4, 5 years ago. And that happens, Glenna, just like your work, your energy, what you do in the world, that can only grow exponentially if we are all in and could access that consciousness. Here's a question that I love getting. And hopefully you'll be able to talk about this weekend, how you're going to help with it. But before I do, anybody out there have a question about money? Or does everybody out there have more than enough money? You don't think about it. Nothing never enters your mind. You're not thinking about that client that you didn't close. You're not thinking about already, am I going to have enough money? If you've got a question, today is where you start. 1-800-930-2819. 1-800-930-2819. The reason I am so thrilled we're talking about this, Glenna, is whether we know it or not, there may be some wounds we have in our body when it comes to money. I'm just saying, maybe it's not you. I don't think it's you, Glenna. Nope. Nope. But Dr. Glenna Rice and I went on a journey and invested in ourselves in so many ways. I got to ask you this question before we even talk about the 3 things. What is it about us that we can invest time and money into other people, into our children, into even random people we don't know, but when it comes time to invest money in ourselves, it's as if there's a wall that we just ran into?
Yeah, that's a great question for me. I did have money wounds. I don't know if they would call them wounds. I grew up in a family that was nice, middle class. I'd been in Washington, like I said. My dad made great money. I certainly never thought I was poor. I certainly wasn't rich. We had an energy of wealth. I mean, I didn't feel like that I had a limited childhood in what I could ask for. But my parents had debt. They used credit cards for everything. We had it was a constant conversation in my house. They were always making money to pay off their past expenditures all the time. And I kind of thought that was normal. That was how you created money. You created on a credit card somehow. I mean, it's not really logical, but it was just the energy that my parents created with. And I got that from them. I bought that whole thing, hook, line, and sinker, and had, I mean, a lot of my debt was student loans and other things, like right at my divorce, money was really tight. I had charged more then. It wasn't luxury items I was charging. But I couldn't receive anything for myself because I always had this point of view in there that I had to pay my debt off first before I could receive for me. I could gifts, like you were saying. My kids could have stuff, friends, whatever I could do. I could created money for a lot of things, but having money for me was something I totally refused. And my excuse, my reason and justification, energetically and out loud, was that I had debt to pay off. So what I used my debt for to create the struggle in my life was to be a self-debtor, to never gift to myself. So I couldn't buy a nicer bottle of champagne. I couldn't take an extra day when I was teaching classes to have a vacation day and see the cities I was in, because that would be spending money that I should be using to pay off my debt. And it was a lot of years that I had that. When I finally saw what I was doing to be a self-debtor and not gift to myself, and how I was using my debt on my credit cards to justify that, I was like, this is going to change. I'm going to start gifting to myself. What would I like to have in my life? What would be fun and joyful for me? And what's funny is I started spending more money on myself, and my debt started going down.
Oh, boy. Boy. I love this. Oh, my goodness. And I want to tell you out there, all of you, look, I don't know about the men that are listening to the show, because I really do think men and women have different relationships with money. But for all of you women out there that are hearing this and you're in the hot flash mode right now, like even if you're 22 years old and you're having a hot flash over this, you need to find out about Glenna's upcoming class, because this is where it's the same idea, Glenna. You put your mask on yourself first on the airplane, even before you put the mask on your child sitting next to you. And there's a reason. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to talk about those three things, right? I just want to say this to you guys. If you just pick one of these things, just one today, and then go to find out about the class, we'll tell you more where that is this weekend. I guarantee you, pick one of these three things, you will create a shift inside of you, a consciousness shift. Something will happen. When we come back, we're going to talk about those things. But here, question for y'all. How many ways do you refuse money? All right. How many ways do you refuse money? And I'll tell you, I'm having a great moment here. One of our fabulous listeners sent me another card, and there was a $20 bill in it. Okay, let's talk. We'll be right back.
That's pretty awesome.
Is traditional medicine not working for you? Do you still feel as if your health isn't 100%? Here at the Holistic Medical Center, Dr. Nushin Darvish and the qualified staff look through the dimensions of wellness and start a healing plan prioritized to your needs. Our physicians assess the whole you until complete health is achieved. Get the help you need by visiting drdarvish.com or call 425-451-0404.
If you're one of the millions of Americans suffering from anxiety, you probably know how powerless and out of control this emotion can make you feel. This is why it is so important to remember that anxiety is created by your mind, which means that you can learn to use your mind to uncreate it. Hello, my name is Dr. Friedman Schaub. My award-winning book, The Fear and Anxiety Solution, provides you with a step-by-step breakthrough process to understand and resolve the root causes of your anxiety and build a solid foundation of confidence and inner peace. If you are ready to take your power back, visit thefearandanxietysolution.com. That's thefearandanxietysolution.com, or call 866-903-6463. That's 866-903-MIND.
Tune in to Lucid Planet Radio with Dr. Kelly Neff. This hit show will illuminate your senses and empower you beyond your daily stressors and hardships. Renowned psychologist and author Dr. Kelly will captivate you with far-reaching topics and amazing guests as you wake to the greatest version of yourself. Learn to tap into your intuitions, think critically about our world, heal emotional and psychological wounds, and follow your passions to live your dreams. The Lucid Planet. Welcome home. Visit lucidplanetradio.com for more information.
How would you like increased health and vitality? How would you like to avoid the onset of disease as well as slow the aging process? This is all possible through a simple, safe, and natural process. Every day we are either moving toward wellness or away from wellness.
Hi, I'm Mary Jane Mack. I'd like to be your partner in achieving optimal health. Contact me now at maryjanemack.com or call 425-392-0659. Visit maryjanemack.com.
Conscious Confidence Radio, a timeless wisdom with Sarah Main. Tune in each month on Transformation Talk Radio and join Sarah on an adventurous journey to the deeper level of meaning to move beyond today's world of constant change, confusion, and uncertainty beyond the shadow of fear. This hit show explores key concepts such as confidence, values, and attitude in a dynamic way. To learn more about Sarah and her work, visit sarahmain.com.
Get back. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Dr. Pat. Thank you all for tuning us in, turning us on. Dr. Glenna Rice is a regular. I love these shows we do together. But before we go off and we talk about the money, I would love to hear from you all. If there's some help you need with the money chat, the one that's either going on in your head or that you're having with people in your family, or how many of you can ask your boss for a raise? 1-800-930-2819. I know Glenna's like, what? 1-800-930-2819. We're taking your calls. Get your question on here. Dr. Glenna Rice is going to help you out. Listen, you're doing a fabulous weekend here in the Pacific Northwest in Seattle. Please tell us where you're going to be, what you're going to teach, and how people can get there.
It's going to be, the first class will be on Friday night, the 27th, 7 easy ways to make money. And we're going to go talking about a lot of this stuff we're talking about on the show. This is my little teaser for you guys. That starts at 6 p.m. at the Courtyard Marriott, Lake Union. And you can find the information to register for that at accessconsciousness.com/Dr. Glenna Rice. That's the easiest way to find it. My classes are all listed there. You can also find it at the Access Joy of Business.com, and you can find more about this amazing work, The Joy of Business. It's a really, really different way to start looking at business and finances and how you create. And then I'm doing a 3-day body class, which does have prereqs, the foundation class at Access. If you've taken those and you're hearing me now, I'm in Seattle. You know, what's the beautiful areas to help contribute to that class and our bodies. And then I'm starting a new class, Energetic Manual Therapy, based on the work I've been doing with bodies for years and years, and the Access Consciousness tools and following the energy. And I'm going to do a really quick intro, probably Zoom it also. The money class is also Zoom. So if you're not in the area, you can watch me on Zoom for the 7 easy ways to make money also. So, and I'm just premiering this new work I'm doing, the Energetic Manual Therapy. That would be Sunday night. And that is not up yet. I'm still working on getting that together so that there's an actual official place people can register. But that's glennarice.com, or the Access Consciousness will be up there probably in a day or so.
Okay.
Or you could just show up.
Or you could just show up.
Courtyard. If you're in this area and you just showed up, it'd be around 6:30 for the manual therapy class, around 6:30 after my body class ends.
Okay.
And we will work it out if you show up there.
Which Courtyard Marriott is it?
The downtown Lake Union one, right on Lake
Thank
Union.
you. That's it. Yeah. Oh, beautiful. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, Glenna, listen. I want to go back to the three things. I want to talk about the three things because I want to make sure we cover. And if we don't get to all three, let's just get to two. But there's one of these in particular, and I'm going to go a little bit out of order if you don't mind.
No, that's fine. There's no order.
Okay. I want to start with the one that most people, when they get to this one, and I have to tell you, it's usually taught last. It's usually, 7 things, it's the 7th. 10 things, it's the 10th. For me, anything I do on money, it's number 1. Have an honoring account, put 10% away, an honoring account. This is the one that people will go through 99 things on the checklist. And if this is number 100, it is like, I did 99. I'm not doing that. I want to ask you why this is so important. Now, I could tell you that there's scriptures and everything in just about every tradition on this. But here in the United States, we don't get this one.
No, you know what? They don't get it anywhere in the world, though. I've been and Access. You said Access has grown. I think Access is in 170 countries now.
Yeah.
So and I've been to 10 or 12. So I've been to many countries, and I would say that this is not something most countries have kind of the same energies around money. Most people, it's similar stuff that comes up for people everywhere I go. So yes, a 10% account is what we call it, or your honoring account. This is such a game changer with money. The people that I know have done it, everyone who I've known who's actually done this, money is different. And I've watched people that started them 10 years ago or 5 years ago or just a year ago. And it's really every bit of money you get in, you take 10% and you put it somewhere and you're never going to spend it. That's the idea. That's the energy of it. I'm not going to spend this. This is money I am just going to have. It's not something you need to put in a savings account, so it can be there. It could be a shoebox, savings account. You can buy gold and have gold in your house, or jewelry. If you like to wear gold jewelry, I do have a bit of that. So my 10% I wear around with me, which is really fun. But what it changes is it shows the energy that money is. It shows the universe that you like to have money, that you're willing to be someone that has money, enjoys money, and has it around. The other cool thing I'm seeing it does is that people that couldn't put the money away, that would end up always spending it, it really gave them a lot of awareness about what it was about money that they were judging, or what they had, their weird relationship with money that kept them from having money in their life. I just had a girlfriend that I was speaking to, and she walked in, and it was something about just some $5 thing, and she goes, "I'm broke." And I went, "Oh, well, then you can't have the $5 you're asking for, because you just decided you're broke." Because that's actually what you're saying. Every time someone says, "I'm broke," that's the reality they're creating. So you have to get rid of your money to be broke. You can't have money. So if you're someone that runs around saying, "I'm broke" all the time, and you start doing this 10%, I mean, you can just do it. Like you get a $10 bill and take $1 and put it in your wallet. But maybe have a section of your wallet where you have your honoring, you don't spend. You will have a really hard time saying, "I'm broke," even though it'll be a go-to, because you've used it your whole life as a way to create your life from this place, "I'm broke." But it'll be very hard to start saying, "I'm broke, I can't afford that," when you've got all this money that's been accumulating in your 10% account. And then you choose, okay, I could spend that, but what would it take to create the money that I require for whatever I'm asking for? And how can that show up? And money can show up in really odd, strange ways when you start asking it. And I've seen it many times with people, like someone's mother decides to give them money, or a friend, or they get a raise at their work, or something shows up that's out of the ordinary, because money will get to you any way it can when you're asking for it. And the honor account starts to help create that. It changed my world, totally. I mean, the debting thing we talked about in the last segment and doing the 10% made it when I said, "Oh, I can't afford to go to that class," or "I can't afford that outfit." I was like, "Oh, actually, I could totally afford it because I have all this 10% money, which I'm choosing not to spend. So how could I create the money that would allow me to have that?" And the other thing people often don't get about their 10% accounts is 90% of the money you make, you can do whatever you want with.
Oh,
right? And what
yeah.
the 10% grows, and your 90% grows with it. You have more money to play with and create with and pay your bills with and all the other stuff we do with money. So it changes how you are with money.
Yeah. This is really, for me, I wanted to start out with that one so that, people have a sense of when we're coming out of the gate and we want to create change in our lives, that you have to start somewhere. And a lot of times, we really struggle with some of the internal mind shifting things that we need to do. So I wanted to pick something that was physical, right? Oh, I got $1. Oh, 10 cents. Oh, okay. All right. Let's talk about one of the others. Do something you love and ask for the money to support it. This is bigger than the words I just read. I know how many people that do things that they love and love it, and kind of think because I love it, I really shouldn't get paid for it. I know, right? You know.
Yeah. People have so many ways that we stop money, and we make ourselves wrong for having it, for not having it. But doing things you love attracts money. And the things you love are they're actually what can create money for you. The things you love and you do really easily and do well, other people don't. I mean, often you think it's so easy for you, this thing you do, that you don't even value it because it's so easy. But it's something that other people probably don't do as easily, and they will pay you for that. They will pay you to create those things, to teach those things, to hire you into businesses where that's of value to the business. It's the things you love to do are the things that are the most valuable to creating money in your life and creating your life, really. And, how much fun is it to make money at what you do and you love to do?
Exactly. Exactly.
And we did talk about that at the beginning quite a bit, about that with First School, and because it is so big. There's so many different ways you can look at it. But start asking, what is it do I love? What brings me joy in my life? What's fun for me? Start noticing those things you do, that you tend to be in that space where you forget about everything else around you, and you're just doing that. And maybe someone can knit for hours or clean houses for hours and laugh about it. There are people that actually like to clean houses and make a lot of money doing stuff like that. I know my cleaning lady's coming in a bit, and she has a huge business with many ladies working for her. And when I see her clean, she doesn't always come because she has many employees. But when I see her come out, there is such an ease and a lightness and kind of a joy in making things neat, clean, tidy. I'm like, wow, this lady has chosen a business that is joyful for her. She may not totally get it because she's cleaning houses, and that's never seen as something joyful for most people, but she has it. And I've watched her business grow in the years she's been coming and making my house magically beautiful during the week. So seeing her business grow because she loves, you can see when she's doing it and what's the before and after and how she gets it. There is a joy and a peace when she does it. You can see that is totally there, and I've watched her business grow, and that is a part of how it's growing because she enjoys doing that. So it could be something like that. To start asking, what is it that I love to do, and just let that question out there and see what starts to pop up for you.
Yeah, here's the thing, right? I have a friend who, her daughter lives down the street. And one of the things that, we're all like gluten-free. So all of a sudden, Ruthie starts making these, cookies and these cakes, because of the allergy, right? So she starts making them. The next thing you know is she starts making these really awesomely delicious cakes. And they're not just like a little pound cake or a banana cake or something. It's like a cake. It's like, I'm having a big event. I need a cake. We're all gluten-free. And OMG. So the business has grown. Cupcakes, cakes, right? All of the above. And wedding cakes, right? All of the above. Wow. And it's a wow, because where can you find anything like that tastes really, really good that's gluten-free? And, and she gets her daughter involved in it. And here they are sharing it. It's amazing. And so a light bulb goes on and says, oh, somebody wants to pay me for this. But you have to be willing to say yes. Let's talk about that for a minute. If somebody says, man, you're great at cleaning my house. I'm a great house cleaner, by the way. I was trained by an Italian grandmother. So when I tell you I have my own series of special cleaning toothbrushes to get in the corners, yeah, that's me. I know awesome. You're laughing. I know.
I like it.
But if somebody says, Pat, thanks for coming over and helping out, let me give you $100. A lot of times we can't take the money. I don't know. What's that about?
Yeah, that's good. Those are, you know what? It's going to be different for everybody, which is hard to say exactly what it is, but some people, it's a lot about not receiving it. And you can have this moment. Yeah, there's a question to ask. There's another tool. Can I have the money now, please? Can I have the money now, please? We have this way where if we do something amazing, incredible, make a great cake, clean a house, I would do a bodywork session on someone's body and change something that had been there for 20 years. And them being grateful for that is all I needed. Like, I didn't require the money. For me, someone just going, wow, you changed everything. You're amazing. Thank you so much. Being, acknowledged for what I did is all I required. I was good. I had to go, can I have the money now, please? Not to the person necessarily, but just to the universe. Like, can I have the money now, please? That will be the value of what I'm actually creating. When I had my, hourly sessions, I started out, I think, at $80 an hour. They're much more now. But I could get there with something funny about it. I'm like, I had to ask the energy of what I was being and doing for that hour. What is this actually worth? And let the energy tell me, because I would always make it cheaper. So it was like, I think it said $200 when I was at around 100. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so much money. I couldn't charge that much. No one will come. Those are the head tripping I would do. And then I looked at the energy and it was like, that was the value. I raised my rates to 200. I got more patients and more clients in my business. Because that's actually what the value of what I was doing. So you have to ask for the money. Can I have the money now, please? Everyone can just say it, just listening. Like, can I have the money now, please? Can I have the money now, please? Can I have the money now, please? Willing to receive it for what you do. What you are creating is valuable. And you have to honor what you're doing and being with that. And part of that honoring is to receive the money that it is valued at. If you underprice yourself, people will not think it's valuable.
Right. Right. I want to talk about, and this is my language and not yours, I want to talk about setbacks. And that's my language. What does a setback look like? And why is the energy of things that happen in life, why is it important to really look at those things in a different energy, a different consciousness? Setback. Anything from I didn't get the promotion, I didn't get the raise, a client's no longer with me. That you know what I mean, Glenna? And
I do.
And most of the time, we have a general reaction to something, and that reaction, believe it or not, that thing gets imprinted. Tell me about reactions to stuff.
Well, we can totally perseverate on that kind of stuff, can't we? I mean, I've been known to do it at times. So there's tools you can use. These are muscles you have to build. But, like, what if every problem is a possibility? What if they're not setbacks? This decision that it's a setback will start locking you into that reality. The greatest tool that I know from the Access work is, what is so right about this I am not getting? And you ask that in those moments of, oh, my God, I can't believe this showed up. I can't believe this happened. Nothing really happens to us. We're the creators of our lives, even though it sure seems like it did. And then just stop yourself for a second when you're in the worst moment or any time in that and go, okay, what is so right about this I'm not getting?
Right.
And there's going to be an energy that will pop up that is that creation of it, where it's like somewhere where this can be something that actually contributes. And maybe it's not the setback. Maybe you didn't get the raise because there's a really great job showing up down the corner. And if you'd gotten that raise, you would have never got the other job. I had a bartending job back in early years in college, and I got fired. They went through cute young bartenders every 6 months, which I didn't know about. And I was devastated. I was just devastated. And then I pulled myself together, started applying for other places, and I got a great job at Anthony's Home Park, which many people listening in Seattle know that restaurant. Which was,
that's right.
I got a much nicer place. It wasn't a bar anymore, and I was now a waitress and making greater tips, more money. If I hadn't gotten fired, I would have never got that job, and that job was probably there asking me to show up. So what's so right about it you're not getting? What if every problem is actually a possibility for creating something different and greater for you? You got to use the muscle, though. You got to get, you got to use the question for you to get there. I know that if you've really decided something ugly, it can be really hard to pull yourself out. These questions can start to help.
And because for those of you out there, try those questions and you'll see the pathway that it then puts you on. Glenna, I love this show. Thank you so much. And this is just a little bit of what you're going to teach on Friday. Again, please tell folks how they can find out about this upcoming workshop. And also, are they able to show up for the money workshop, or do they have to register somewhere? What's the best way to direct folks?
Registering is so much easier than showing up at the door, because we'll have to register you there. But you can show up. You can just driving down and get a hit to come into the Courtyard Marriott downtown Lake Union at 6 o'clock on Friday. We'll be happy to have you join the class. There's no prerequisites for that. But if you go to accessconsciousness.com/Dr. Glenna Rice, you will find all the listings in my classes. Or if you just don't remember the last part, just accessconsciousness.com. I also have my website, glennarice.com, which you can link into the Access site. So it's not too hard to find that and to register. It's easy. You don't have to pay at registration. You can pay at the door also. Love to see you. Love to create some changes with money in the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, boy, I'll tell you, it's a great place for the expansive nature of money and the energy of it.
Yes,
last question for you. Love to get your personal message or maybe your personal question.
I said so much. What would you like to do? This choice creates. What would you like to do that would create more for your life? What would be fun? Kind of simple, but it's not a question we always get asked. What would you like to do?
Wow. Dr. Glenna Rice, everyone. I'm Dr. Pat. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back. Don't forget to check it out and join Glenna this weekend. The door is wide open for you. Money, money, money. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
The preceding audio was via a Skype call.